Welcome to CAN, Caribbean Affiliate News. My name is Siobhan Gobin. Here are the stories that we're following today, July 30th, 2013. In international news, hundreds marched to protest deadly Toronto police shooting. The officer is suspended. Florida gas plant explosions, 7 hospitalized, all workers accounted for. Swiss rescuers find body of train driver after crash. In the U.S., 100 teen sex trafficking victims rescued by the FBI. 150 pimps held. Details on these headlines and more when we return.
The government say it's all about the food. August the 10th. Foreigners welcome to the land of oil dung. Beers and strong rum, girls hot and can done. It's all about the food. Oil Dung Fest, August 10, Lampama, I'm in the place.
Since we announced Sign and Drive with zero out of pocket and low monthly payments, cars been flying out of Bronx Honda at a record pace. Whoa! New Accord with zero out of pocket for $249 a month, or new Civics just $199 per month, or save thousands with 0% financing. You never had to leave the Bronx to get the best price on the Honda. Bronx Honda guarantees the lowest price in the Bronx. Bronx Honda, East Tremont Avenue. Visit BronxHonda.com.
Welcome back to CAN, Caribbean Affiliate News. My name is Siobhan Gobin, and this segment is sponsored by Amros Travel. Hundreds of protesters shouted at police and called for justice Monday as public outrage grew over the death of a young man shot in an altercation with police officers on a city streetcar. The mother and sister of Sammy Yatim, 18, were among a crowd of protesters that stretched more than a block as marchers left a downtown square for the West End intersection where the teenager died on Saturday morning. The shooting has sparked a flood of anger at Toronto police, who have suspended an officer involved. The crowd chanted "shame" with a handful of protesters angrily confronting police monitoring the march, yelling phrases such as "he was innocent" and "what about a warning shot?" Marchers briefly stopped outside a local police station, venting at the force's handling of the incident, brandishing posters that read, "The police are under the law too, and protect us from our protectors." Protesters marched to the intersection where Yatim was killed for a candlelight vigil. There, Yatim's mother sat on the road clutching her daughter and crying, repeating her son's name over and over again. She reached out for a photo of him as the crowd behind her shouted, "Justice for Sammy." Joseph Nazar was one of the protesters in the crowd and said he has been a close friend of Yatim's family for years. Marcher Annette Schaefer, a resident in the neighborhood where the shooting occurred, questioned how police are told to handle volatile incidents such as Yatim's, who in video footage appears to be holding a knife in the moments before police shot him. Ontario's police watchdog is probing the incident, which was captured on video by several onlookers and quickly posted online. Police Chief Bill Blair said the force will do all it can to answer all the questions surrounding the tragic death of Yatim at the hands of police. Blair told reporters Monday he understood the public had many questions about police conduct. Blair added that police will cooperate fully with Ontario's Special Investigations Unit, which is investigating the circumstances of Yatim's death. In Florida, a propane gas plant shook the neighborhood with explosions and injuring dozens of workers. Here are the details.
A series of explosions rocked a Central Florida propane gas plant and sent boom after boom after boom through the neighborhood around it. 8 people were injured, with at least 4 in critical condition. John Harrell of the Lake County Sheriff's Office said early today that no one died despite massive blasts that ripped through the Blue Rhino propane plant late Monday night. Officials initially scrambled to find more than a dozen employees after the explosions. Management is comfortable saying all of those they knew were there tonight have been accounted for, he said. Tavares Fire Chief Richard Keith said possible causes of the explosion may be either equipment malfunction or possibly human error. Sabotage was not suspected. One person injured in the explosion was listed in critical condition at University of Florida Health Shands Hospital, and 3 others were listed in critical condition at Orlando Regional Medical Center. Harrell said some others drove themselves to area hospitals. Tavares Battalion Commander Eric Wages said 5 workers walked up to a command center firefighters set up near the plant Monday night with skin hanging off their arms, torso, and faces. He said their arms were outstretched and they were in complete shock. The Blue Rhino plant, which is northwest of Orlando, refilled propane tanks typically used for barbecues and other uses. There were some 53,000 20-gallon tanks at the plant on Monday. This morning, smoke still billowed from a storage container on the property, which consists of a couple of warehouses next to each other. The parking lot was littered with thousands of blackened 20-gallon propane containers. Nearby, 3 33,000-pound tanks of propane sat untouched. Lake County Balance Line Chief Chris Crowell said the hoses designed to spray water on the large tanks in case of fire did not go off as planned because they had to be manually activated. Most sane people don't stick around for an event like this, he added. Tavares Mayor Robert Wolf said this morning that he was surprised to learn the hoses at the plant had to be manually activated. If Blue Rhino reopens the plant, Wolf said he plans to raise the safety issue. That way, it's fail-safe, Wolf said. We're lucky those tanks didn't explode. Blue Rhino is a subsidiary of Kansas-based national propane provider Ferragas. Spokesman Scott said this morning he didn't have information available about the safety water hoses. It's as sobering a situation as you can possibly imagine, he said. We have folks who are injured, and we've got Blue Rhino employees across the country who are keeping them in prayers and sending good vibes their way. Crowell said firefighters who responded to the initial fire had to wait to enter the plant site because conditions were so dangerous. Just as they were finally about to go in, 4 tractor trailers parked next to the large propane tanks caught fire. If the large tanks exploded, Crowell said, it would have wiped us out. Video footage on West TV in Orlando showed fires burning through trucks used to transport propane gas tanks, which were parked at the plant. The fire sent plumes of smoke into the air hours after the blast. Keith said the explosions shook his house several miles from the plant. It truly sounded like a car hit our house, he said. My name is Stefan Samuel, reporting for Caribbean Affiliate News.
Rescue workers on Tuesday recovered the body of the driver of one of 2 regional trains that collided head-on in western Switzerland. Officials said it appeared likely that one of the trains ignored a signal. The body of the 24-year-old driver was recovered from the mangled wreckage in the early morning, hours after the collision near the station at Granges Prés Marnan, about 50 kilometers southwest of the capital, Bern. Emergency workers had to separate the front of the 2 trains to reach the driver's mangled cabin. The collision Monday evening left the trains locked together, partly lifted off the tracks by the force of the collision. Of the 46 passengers on board the trains, 26 were taken to hospitals, none of them in life-threatening condition. Jean-Christopher Sauterelle, a spokesman for Vaud Canton State Police, said the fire service will continue to comb the wreckage because authorities can't yet rule out the possibility that someone may still be trapped inside. The accident happened just after a local train left the station where it had stopped. It collided with a train going in the opposite direction that wasn't scheduled to stop. Sauterelle said that schedules call for the slower train to remain in the station while the faster train passes through. He said the hypothesis favored by investigators is a failure to respect a signal by the slower train, whose driver was questioned on Monday night. But he stressed that a detailed investigation will be needed. The driver of the faster train was killed. The two trains' black boxes have been recovered and will be analyzed, Sauterelle said at a news conference in Lausanne. The accident happened just days after 79 people were killed in a high-speed train derailment in Spain. Switzerland's rail system is considered among the best and safest in the world. Accidents are rare, although 3 years ago the country's popular Glacier Express tourist train derailed in the Alps, killing 1 person and injuring 42. You are watching Caribbean Affiliate News. We will be right back.
Mom, let you take your car out. This is awesome.
It's time to grow up.
You're crazy.
Little while
Go faster. Stop.
It'll all be alright.
I raised my son to be careful,
Hey, sweetie.
Hey, Mom.
but just to be safe,
So don't you worry.
I got a Subaru.
Love. It's what makes a Subaru a Subaru.
Coleman Subaru, 1710 North Alden Avenue, Ewing, New Jersey, or ColemanSubaru.com.